Bitcoin, the biggest opportunity was when it has had its higher rate of inflation. People keep on making the silly mistake of thinking that inflation, meaning not inflation, but inflation could imply devaluation, but an increase in the supply of a currency automatically leads to devaluation. That is not true. Increase in anything does not necessarily lead to its devaluation. It comes down to really what people do. If people end up, if there's an increase in dollars and it hits the market, gets exchanged for goods and services at a higher rate than it previously was, then it will lead to inflation. That is what is called velocity. Velocity. Inflation is increase in the supply times increase in the velocity. It has to move. If they increase the supply and it sits in your bank account and never gets spent, prices won't rise. So why did Bitcoin go up so much? People bought it and didn't sell it. And so yeah, Bitcoin had its biggest gains when there was an increase in inflation. I guess a good example, I'd say, of an inflation, an increase in the supply not affecting the price would be like, for example, if you have an athlete like Stephen Curry signs a basketball and it's worth let's say it's worth $100. If he goes and then signs another basketball, right? If Curry goes and then signs another basketball, so you have one circulating supply of Curry signed basketballs is one. And then another fan comes up to him with a basketball and he signs it, right? So, wait, I'm sorry. The basketball's worth $100. One circulating supply, $100. He signs another one. So now there's two circulating supply Curry basketballs. Does that automatically mean that an autographed Curry basketball is worth $50 because you double the supply, that double the price? No, because people don't sell things that were autographed. People cherish them. You're a Warriors fan, you're likely not going to sell that basketball. That's why these sports memorabilia, sports paraphernalia, they increase in price despite the increasing circulating supply. For example, like they have like these athletes, they go to Steiner collectibles and they just sit there and they keep signing autographs. And it doesn't lead to a direct evaluation. In fact, often it actually leads to a price appreciation because there's a bigger circulating supply and more people have those like signed paraphernalia. There's more of an awareness of it and more people want it and more people are willing to pay for it. So I think that's what it comes down to. There has to be velocity. Hex incentivizes a low velocity. There's an incentive when you buy your Hex coins. Essentially, you have an incentive to lock it up and not sell it, and that's why, despite inflation, despite the increase in circulating supply of Hex, there's still such price appreciation, at least for now. Obviously, past performance is not indicative of future results, and none of this is financial advice. I cannot tell you the future, but that is the way I see it, and that is why you've seen with Bitcoin, Ethereum during the times of highest inflation, you had the highest price appreciation because it's not about the increase in the money supply. Simply, there's two sides of the equation, and you have to look at them in tandem. You have to look at them together.